G'day, welcome to Afraid of the Mark. I'm Finn.
I am Dan.
And I'm Chad.
And Chad thinks that last week was a hard act to follow. That was perfectly executed. What round have we just finished? 10? 11?
11?
11, round 11.
Does that
That's
mean
right,
it's
'cause
10?
round 10 was a winning round, so...
Yeah, that was a good
11,
time.
Yeah.
That was a very good time.
Yeah. I didn't catch a lot of footy. I was really busy this weekend.
I had a bit of a wild Saturday.
I tried to go back and watch as I could, but there's some bits I missed. I caught a bit of Sunday, which was good, despite feeling depressed. I felt like a Depressendon supporter.
A Depressendon supporter.
Yeah.
I like that. I'm into that.
Yeah, after West Coast were robbed, basically. Robbed by 10 goals. They were never meant to lose again, but they did.
Yeah, well.
Injustice.
Injustice. To be fair, you are somewhat on the money. There's some umpiring discrepancies. Sorry, I don't want to take away from the
great win,
fabulous win that Crum got in the Afraid of the Mark dust-up.
Mate, I'm still filthy at the fact we've lost the 2016 grand final after the umpire. Like, Rui's on a manhunt, so if they can give back the Brownlows to Job and give it to Mitchell, then I want the 2016 premiership delivered to me. Take that, AFL.
Take that. Nah, there's...
Adelaide didn't play in the 2016.
Who's now on the run.
Yeah.
After $8 million alleged. We have to say allegedly because we don't know if that.
He definitely did it.
He definitely did it. That is wild shit.
Yeah,
that was not on the list to talk about.
I forgot about that last week.
Yeah.
That was full on.
Yeah, that's mad. What a guy.
He was scamming people. What was he doing? It was
he was taking payments for services that weren't being provided. I think it was. Wasn't it?
No. He was in the business he was working. So like, wasn't his business. He was booking jobs in and then paying himself.
That's right. Paying companies that don't exist or something that he owns. Yeah. That's wild. The things people will do, man. Like.
Well, it ain't a bit $1 million till they notice. Like, whoever's their accountant needs to be. Maybe not their accountant anymore.
It happens all the time, man. And but people don't stop to look unless things are going bad.
No, that's true.
That's like, it's only when shit's going wrong that you stop check books.
Yeah. You decide it's time for a bit of an audit, and it's wild the shit you can uncover. Apparently, $8 million.
All the directors must be going, that's where our bonuses went.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I mean, when you think about it, it's not, unless they can prove that the service wasn't provided, or like, if it all looks legitimate on paper, an accountant's never going to catch it. They're legitimately never going to catch it. If it looks like A plus B equals C, because all they look at is numbers, right?
Well,
and we've proven that umpires aren't good at math, judging by their 15 metres, so he could have missed a few decimal points.
But what I'm saying is that if they don't see that the outgoing doesn't match the incoming, and if, say, it's resources only, and they're not hands-on within the business, how are they going to know that those resources
aren't actually being utilised, or it's even come into any kind of fruition?
Depending on how their business structure is, you don't know until you realise.
Layers of management in between that might not notice or not be very competent, or
could have got away with it if it weren't for those damn kids.
Say that again.
I would have got away with it if it weren't for those damn kids.
Yeah. Oh dear. So that's wild. Didn't anticipate talking about him, but back to the dust up. Absolutely umpired differently.
Oh,
like in certain sections of the game. Like, I mean, the free kick count, although some would be there, some wouldn't, whatever.
Some of the head highs were there. Some of them,
fuck, some of those,
mate,
man. It wasn't so much that, like, if it's there, it's there. Right?
Yeah,
I'm a firm believer in it. What annoyed me about that is it wasn't. It was only there when it was against.
Yeah,
it was never there when it was for. Like,
yeah.
But the Adelaide was so.
After halftime,
yeah. First half they were poor.
There was a contest in the first half.
I don't think the first half was that they were poor, is that they had an actual challenge. And you got to think, remember, a team that's just had their first win, a big confidence boost, and then you're holding back the scoring ferocity of the number one scoring team in the comp. Like, it's not that Adelaide are poor; it's that they had a rocket up there, right?
Yeah, true. I like what Matty Nick said in his post-game presser. He was saying that they went away from their own system. They weren't playing their way, and for the first half, and then they sort of reset at halftime, and then
that's pressure. Yeah.
Well, yeah, that's exactly it. It goes to. I like what he said because it highlights the fact that clearly the West Coast Eagles are moving in the right direction, and on track to actually being a competitive team again.
Oh, you can see the development. I mean, they're a bunch of Nepo babes, but they're not bad for all the handouts they've had over the years.
Yeah.
You are a Freo fan, eh?
100% a Freo fan.
Your love for Ross Lyon only exists because he was a Fremantle coach.
Yep.
No, I just love the way he conducts himself. He's not afraid to tell the truth. Nepo babies.
He's not afraid to accept zero responsibility either.
No, that's it.
No,
what
he's been through a lot.
He's been through. What are your thoughts on that?
Administrations he's had to deal with.
I personally thought it was hilarious, and not because it's like leave Gold Coast alone. It's, I just like anyone who shits on Dimmer makes me happy. Like, because he just gets so bent out of shape. Like, you could say if he said that about GWS, Adam Kingsley would be like, "That's pretty funny."
Yeah, probably,
and that'd be the end of it. Like.
Yeah.
I mean, like what Ross Lyon said wasn't wrong. I don't think it was the right time to bring it up. But I mean, when is the right time to bring it up?
It was better to say it before you lost than after.
Well,
Do you reckon?
It was after, so the fact that it was before is different. It hits different, I think, if it's beforehand.
If you're saying it after, then you just like making excuses for your team. So.
Well, I'm inclined to agree with kanecornes, which doesn't happen all that often, but he reckons that that's like foreshadowing and making an excuse before you even go out there and lose the game. So you're already laying the foundation that you expect to lose.
What was the context he brought it up?
That's what I mean, because I don't think the context matches using it as an excuse before the game, but it would match using it as an excuse.
He was asked about the challenge of the Gold Coast Suns, and he said, "Oh, geez, they've got a lot of talent, don't they? The AFL's Nepo baby."
Yeah.
Well, it's not wrong.
It's not wrong.
It's not.
But if you're saying that before the game, that's more of like, oh yeah, they're really talented. And then you make a joke. If it's after the game, it's we lost because they're the AFL's like.
Yeah, it was intended as that.
You got to remember that kanecornes has like 2 brain cells between him and anyone he's sitting next to. So
yeah,
no,
it was intended, I think, out of Ross's mouth as that joke of
correct.
Yeah, the Nepo baby, aren't they?
But
and he
if
sort of chuckles.
That's what I'm saying. It's better said before the game than after.
I had to look up Nepo because I've never heard that word in a sentence before like that. So
nice. It's an abbreviation
of nepotism.
That makes But I mean, you look at actually some of the priority picks that they do impact dramatically. Until like Dimmer's responses just made him look bitter because it's like he goes, "Oh, there was only 13,000 rocked up to Marvel."
Yeah,
that's like 4 times more than the Gold Coast Sun average at a home game. And plus, he was already at Marvel. He was already upset.
Yeah,
MCG's 15 minutes down the road.
He would have been happy to get what was it? His second win in like 15 games there or something.
Yeah, well, they couldn't have gone to the G. What were they? 13,000 at the G. Imagine that's the front row, isn't it? That's it. With the lights off to save money.
Yeah. Holy shit!
You know, if Stewie Jew was still coach, they may have made it back on food, but they got rid of the old badger.
I love Stewie Jew.
I love him too.
I will not stand for that.
Yeah, that's funny, but he's the man.
Yeah.
Mate, he's a big dude. I'm just saying.
He is a big fella.
You know, if you enjoy your food, that's fine. You know?
Remember that Amazon Prime documentary?
He's still fit as fuck. That's like.
Well, yeah, that's what I was
pull your
going
head
to say.
off your shoulders. Like.
Yeah, I'm skinny. I'm depressed. Like, there's clearly a correlation between the two of us.
He's not skinny and he's probably depressed because he got asked right before his team finally came good.
Yeah.
Come on, you can't say that Dimmer's the reason why Gold Coast are doing great.
Not that quickly.
No, because it's the man who did all the fucking. But I said this when they were sacked. They needed one more season.
That's it. Look where we are. Do you remember the Amazon Prime documentary?
Yeah,
where he was on the bike, wasn't he? Didn't they do like 12 hours or 14 hours or something of exercise bike? Stewie Jew just gutsed it out, man. Like,
are you sure that was like recorded? They didn't just keep it on loop?
Yeah, true. Yeah, it's a 30-second loop just round and round.
He had a metronome on, so the timing was perfect. They could just keep running it.
That's brilliant.
Speaking of weight gain, you see everyone was like flabbergasted at one of the Geelong players after the game. So he talked about the fact he put on it was like 15 kilos, I think, between the off season.
Yeah, right.
Everyone's like, he's talking about weight. We can't do that anymore.
Yeah.
We fucking can. They're athletes.
We can. There was a few times that umpires mentioned
stuff.
Any
excuse to go to skin folds.
Right? Yeah.
Why not?
Go on, get it out.
Professional athletes.
Yeah, there was a few times though where even in commentary it was mentioned and they were like, he must be like 105 kilos. They don't write that down on the sheet anymore. But yeah, it's definitely something that we've spoken about this a couple of times. It's definitely still measured. Skinfold test still
Of
exists.
course it is.
Yeah.
And the 100 kilos died when Nick Natter, right? That was like everyone. Derm loved it. He's at least 105 kilos.
Yeah,
He's
fucking
110 kilos. Look.
Yeah, he always puts a bit of mayo on too. So
Yeah.
he must be 200 kilos. Look at the body.
Just like the wrestlers who say in pounds, so it sounds twice.
Yeah.
So you talked about Kane's opinion.
Yeah.
And then that brings me to Kane being a soft cock.
Kane and Bevo.
Oh,
Funny.
Hilarious. This is like the prime opportunity for the AFL to go, all right, Kane,
Pull your head in, son.
everyone's had enough. They won't because he makes money.
Yeah.
He stirs everyone up. He's very good at his job, right? And I'll give him credit where it's due. He might be a flog, but he's good at being a flog.
Could it be a flog?
As long as you're consistent.
But the one thing's for certain is he was absolutely petrified of Luke Beveridge.
Yeah.
In that moment.
Yeah.
Right. He started chirping away, got fed,
Backed up
and then
real
went
quick,
like,
didn't he?
Fuck, like, because there's consequences for your actions.
Look at Tom McClure. Was it not Tom McClure? Was it Tom Morris? The day after Bevo snapped at him, and then all of a sudden those lists started coming out.
Yeah.
Of the office and whatnot.
Yeah.
I'm not saying it's correlated. It's
100%.
coincidence.
Don't
Yeah.
fuck with Bevo. It'll bring you
He
down.
knows things. Yeah.
He'll bring you down.
Knows people.
But the funniest
In the
part of
Northern
all
Territory.
that was Nick Rewalt. That was hilarious. His Bond villain outfit, just like with his trainers on, his fucking white shoes, hilarious.
Looks like a private school.
Hey, I'm down with the turtleneck, right? And I'm down with the turtleneck and the
turtleneck and jacket combo.
Yeah, it's like all he needed was a thin chain, right? And he was balling.
I'm clearly not a fashion guy, but you know,
that was a reference.
he looked good.
All right. If you don't get it, well, that's on you. All right.
I don't get it.
Yeah, well, you don't. All right, but I'll show you one day.
All right.
It's hard to look tough in it.
No, it's not.
I agree.
It's not. If Snoop Dogg wears turtleneck and a chain, so can Nick Rewalt. Right,
but he's high as a kite most of the time. So
all of the time.
Obviously, and it was pretty good by Nick because Kane's his workmate and gets lipped at, and he hands his coffee over to the person next to him, gets all staunch, and then his earpiece goes off and his shoulders sink back down. And you see him like, oh, Kane, come back, Kane, come back.
Yeah.
So they probably told him,
do not get involved in that shit.
So he's been blacklisted by the Bulldogs and the...
Yeah, that's two now. North Melbourne, yeah.
Well, North now too, has he?
No, North was first. Now the Bevo's...
He was the Dogs was before that.
Was it?
Yeah,
he was banned from the
like
Dogs
2
rooms
seasons
a
ago.
while ago, yeah. The
He's not
rooms, but...
And he's not allowed to contact the club or go there.
Yeah, right.
He's already been banned by...
Well, it's exactly
probably
the same
safety,
deal now
yeah.
for North Melbourne, isn't
Safer
it?
not going to Footscray than going to...
Yeah, but it's purely because of his attitude towards Luke Beveridge. Like,
Yeah.
And I think the club did the right thing by saying, nah, you're not welcome. Because we care about our people and he's our man. And he's proven to be the man.
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely.
And they're just waiting for that signature, I think.
Yeah.
No, they won't ban Ugal Hagen, but they'll ban kanecornes. So there's irony somewhere in that.
Is there?
Well, you're
one of
punishing one behaviour and acknowledging the other.
one of them is an employee of the club. The other one is not.
That's even worse. If it's your employee that's representing your club, it should be twice the whammy.
Twice the whammy. You can't just like straight up he's not doing the right thing, but you can't just straight up just go see you later.
Mate, if I was
You're
calling
banned.
I was calling
what
in sick
happens
to
in
work
every-
and on the piss and putting up Instagram photos, do you think HR would take it easy on me?
True. I don't know. There's a lot going on there.
Mate, I fail one drug test, I'm out. I don't get 3 strikes. And
No, that's true.
I don't get points for self-report.
There's no anonymity.
Speaking of drug tests,
Go on.
Bailey Sniff back on it again.
Mate.
I did see there was some comment from both Geelong and the AFL about investigating that.
Oh, Chris
really?
Scott he was just like, I don't micromanage my team. I'm like, you might want to maybe pull his head in on that one. Maybe.
Yeah. Investigating.
Well,
what is there to investigate?
Well, it means to speak to him about what he's saying. Like, and I thought it was hilarious, right?
Oh, it's a funny clapback. Yeah.
And it's straight up. That's like the best thing about it is that is a football player engaging with a fan.
Yeah.
In what is a positive interaction between the two of them.
Yeah, human to human interaction, a bit
and
of
it's
jokes.
just like, and for that guy, he's like, oh shit, like Bailey message back. That's cool. Like, he responded to my comment. That's hilarious.
It's probably just the connotation in the history of.
Correct, and that's where the problem lies. Is that like you
I think
can't,
it's fucking brilliant.
of all the
to be
things
honest.
that you should be saying, that is not it. But, like,
He's clearly a young man with the nose beers reference, but
but I reckon the interaction was sick.
Yeah,
and like
I feel like he's ticking a lot of boxes this year, Bailey Smith, man. To be honest.
Yeah, but that one will get scrutinised heavily.
Yeah,
like absolutely heavily.
Yeah.
He's becoming a bit like Kappa. Like he's becoming that. He's getting people in the gates.
Yeah,
he's that larger than life. Yeah.
Well,
he's a personality.
But I haven't seen him jump on anyone's shoulder. So.
Well, a couple of nose beers, and we'll see how far.
Very
Wait
good.
till after the grand final.
Yeah, just if you put it up over someone's head, and
we're available for the grand final party. Just saying,
we are.
We'll find a way.
We'll be there. I'll bring the nose beers.
I've got the big nose. I'm ready to go, bro.
Yeah, yeah. I'm not sharing with him.
I was born to be a rock star.
Disclaimer: I'm not a drug dealer.
No,
I do not have nose beers.
I'm actually a sober man. Like,
yeah.
Big week. Yeah. No, I'm legit a sober man. So, oh god, now this has gone too far. I can't say it again.
So we'll just cut out this on isolation and real it.
Yeah. I'm a sober man. I'm a sober man.
Put your head doing that on Stewie Jew on the treadmill.
Yes. Oh dear, it's gone too far.
Even like the social media, like even the text messages. We've had another incident with a message or a Snapchat.
Yes.
Oh yeah.
We have your boys.
So this was a random Saturday morning. So allegedly, of course, we have to keep saying the A word. An Adelaide Crows player in their 20s sent a picture of his ex to a former teammate.
Was it his ex?
I think so.
I thought it was just the girl who sent him a saucy pic.
Oh, she sent one and he's forwarded it on.
Yeah.
So it's obviously someone's either A, ratted him out because how else would she know? Or we've done their old whoopsie-doo. That's my story, not my private chat.
Oh.
And now
doesn't, I don't know, I'm not down with the kids with all these social media apps, but don't they alert you when people screenshot your shit or share your...
Oh, they do. But I mean, it depends on, like, you know, she may have sent it by text. We don't e-Snapchat it. So
okay.
It depends on their... I mean, you look, you know, courting and flirting's changed dramatically in 20.
Courting?
It's you know,
Courting?
It's now abbreviations and pictures, how we...
Yeah, emojis are a big thing, aren't they?
Yeah, that's the what's that vegetable called? The
avocado?
Eggplant.
Oh, that's right.
Quite
I watched
popular. And the rainy emoji.
Can't say I've used either of those ever.
No, me neither.
Well, how long have you been married for? You've been married for what, 10 years?
I'm not married.
Oh.
He's just taking 10 years off your life, bro. There you go.
Been in a cage. But
What?
no.
Are they calling it civil union still? Are they? I thought they changed that.
It's gay marriage.
That's brilliant.
So he spends one weekend at the Bears.
Yeah.
And he knows exactly.
We're all in civil unions.
I'm just saying, if you want some decent priced leather, that's the best place to go on a Friday night.
No, but regardless of my marital status, I don't think I'd ever use an eggplant to describe anything.
Nah.
Because first of all, it's a terrible food. And B, it's not a good representation of size.
No, the eggplants can be pretty big. Was it cucumbers?
That's my point.
Yeah. It's just people. Yeah, but like obviously, like that was probably not a smart idea to message it on. Obviously, with the like, we're only assuming allegedly what.
Well,
the photo
it's
was,
actually it's a criminal offence to do so.
What's the sexting laws? If that's what it was. Yeah. So obviously she is protected, but I mean it's double whammy where it's like probably shouldn't send out those photos because once it's either sent to someone or
the moment it leaves your phone or goes on the internet, it is out there forever.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah, heavens.
Oh yeah.
And it's like, and it's really should be a cautionary tale for young women. And generally, once women are mature enough, they know, and men as well, they know exactly what they're doing, and they're probably comfortable with what they're doing, right? But young men and women,
it's the long-term ramifications.
That's
like,
exactly
you gotta think very hard before you do.
Yeah, I mean, I stand behind every rod shot I've ever sent, but sometimes, you know, obviously, sometimes we regret things.
Honestly, no.
So you don't lay down when you're taking them; you only stand. Is that?
Yeah, there's certain lighting and angles to make it. You know, you want to make it look 15 meters to the umpires, if you know what I mean.
Very good, very very good. Oh jeez,
Mathematics.
That is.
But yeah, it's probably
brilliant.
is very like always think twice before what you send.
Oh, big time, big time. And it scares me as a man who has daughters that is a thing that they, one picture, one in the wrong person's hands, and it's out there literally forever.
That's right. So it really comes down to.
You've still got the extra stigmatism with whenever women do it, tend to be seen in one light, and men it's like
Yeah.
So it does. I think it can be a bit more.
Yeah, absolutely.
This isn't a social podcast, so we'll leave it at that. But I disagree.
Yeah, fair enough. Fair enough.
Very much disagree. What's next on our list? We've got a big list tonight.
We have got a big list.
We're going to talk about hypocrisies and double standards.
Well, I mean, we can do, yeah, absolutely. So I shared a video from last week's episode. I shared a short on YouTube where you very well spoken, a few F-bombs in there, but what you said and the message that you sort of put out there about men taking their own life and men's mental health around the need for it and whatnot. You said a thing, to paraphrase, you said that there's not 21 Australian women out there taking their own life every week, and that's someone's.
Son,
mums don't want that to happen to their husbands, daughters' husbands, and all of that. I put it up on YouTube as a short, and I tagged men's mental health and a couple of other things. And in the space of, I think, 11 hours, it had like 6 views. It was not put in the shorts feed at all. Like, usually I put one up, a couple of 100 views. We're getting there. We're growing. We're getting there. A couple of 100 views. Nothing different apart from the tag men's mental health, beyond blue, and the fact that the title of the short was Men's Mental Health Matters.
Yeah.
Every other one of our videos will get a couple of 100 views at least and get pumped out into the shorts feed.
No, they get thousands. They don't get hundreds. They get thousands.
No. We're modest
become
here.
the next Andrew Tate, if
mate. Mate, maybe. I just think there's something weird going on with that. It's because
did you repost it without those things?
I didn't take it down and repost it. I just changed the title and removed the mental health tags.
And since that point, has it stabilised in views compared to everything else?
No, it's had another 9.
I reckon you pull it down and go again without any of that.
Yeah, well, my wife said to me, I reckon if you take it down and put it back up with breast cancer tags, it'll get thousands of views. And that made me think.
It's hard to tell. Like, I know, because I think I've been broached it last whenever I said whenever we focus specifically on men's mental health or a plight of anything male related, we're generally met with a bit of pushback because, apparently we're oppressive, patriarchal, and that's the way it's always been.
Men should have feelings and express themselves. Don't you dare express yourselves.
Don't act like a lady.
How dare you?
Yeah. I don't know, man. I just thought that there's something weird going on there, and clearly it's been somewhat oppressed.
Conspiracy list, mate.
Yeah, and all we're asking for is equity. We're not pushing one agenda over the other. It's just, why can't we acknowledge both equally, even if it's in a singular platform? Because men's problems are very different to women's problems. So
absolutely. And as you said in the video and in the podcast last week, like, there are not 21 women in Australia out there taking their own life every week. The actual stats are like 75 or 78% of suicides in Australia are male.
Yeah, that's right.
And that's crazy.
But like as you said, their problems are very different. There's a significant domestic violence problem against women.
Yep, absolutely.
Which is just as important.
Yep.
Right? And it is a pandemic of sorts. They both are, and they're two different issues that both hold the same weight as each other.
Sadly, like, whenever you commit, it takes a lot of violence to be able to take your own life, and you're a bit more prone to violence than women. So there's different things, but it's very sad either side whenever.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Like, so there's nothing wrong with the AFL, the men's league, specifically on the men's mental health.
Not at all.
There's nothing wrong if the women want to do that next season. I think it's great if the AFLW, if they want to do that.
Shouldn't have laughed then. Sorry. No, I agree.
And there's nothing wrong with, like.
It wasn't even a joke.
No.
You're allowed to focus on specific cohorts. Yeah. I just think, I hate this thing of patriarchal oppression where it's like, you look back through history and you show me where it is. People are like, we've been oppressive. Do you know why women couldn't vote up until the end of World War II? Because they couldn't be drafted to the front line of World War I or World War II. That's why they weren't allowed to.
Always back to
No, it is because everything comes back to the end of World War II when that was when everyone went weird.
What about before those wars, mate? There was like millennia of human history before that. But
oh yeah, Genghis Khan. Gee, he went on a. Geez, you want to talk about photos? He didn't send photos. He was just every day.
he was there.
He's got 10 million living descendants.
He just invaded your house to show you his cock.
That's insane. After all those years, he's still got 10 million living descendants of his genetics.
That's wild.
That's power.
Yeah. That's power.
That's a little bit of patriarchy. The rest, not so much. But yeah.
Nah, there's something odd going on, and I agree. We should be able to talk about it, and we should not be oppressed by.
Without angering
YouTube.
another cohort, like why can't we just each have equal space between each other? Do you know what I mean? Like we men and women, we complement each other, be at each other. But now we're going on social. But yeah, anyway, you know what I mean? Like it's all part of it.
No, it is. It is.
Oh, I'm really paranoid, Chad. Is the red thing on the screen of that phone look?
Same thing I say to most women. The red light means it's off.
Good. I used to be able to see what was going on.
Yeah.
No, I can still. You're still recording. It's got the little red dot at the top.
No, I get paranoid that I haven't started it.
Ah, no, you're good.
Cool.
Nice
So
work.
we can just put a picture in your mouth,
Can
if we need to.
make AI do that
South
now.
Park Canadian.
Yeah.
Yeah, Patrick Crick, 57 votes.
Very
Please
good.
make that. Please
Very
make that
good.
audio. Make that.
I don't know if I'm that talented
Of course
digitally.
you are. You just bounce it up. And it doesn't even have to
Oh,
match.
God.
It doesn't match on South Park.
No, that's true.
Hey, I'll make it easy for you to find. Spike.
No, I said Patrick Cripps 57 votes.
Yeah.
last
yeah,
week?
yeah. I'm not gonna fucking find it now.
I actually did say that.
Yeah, you did.
Oh, God.
Talking of your passive aggression, we need to talk about Port Adelaide. So don't jump out your seat.
I'm not passive aggressive towards Port Adelaide. I'm
That's
aggressive
just-
aggressive towards.
yeah, that's true. Yeah.
We mix.
But as soon as Port Adelaide get mentioned, we're in the rage. No. Seriously, they lost again.
They did,
Yep.
and quite poorly too.
Oh, quite poorly indeed. Now, obviously, they've had a little bit of an injury run, but like
yeah,
the
but
wheels
at
are
home, that's
off.
not a good effort to put up against.
No. Now I'm not one to judge,
That's good.
but does Willie Rioli look a little bit unfit to either of you?
He's always
little-
looked unfit. That was
Does he look a little bit like 2017 first year at the Eagles unfit?
Yeah, probably.
Like, get on the treadie, son.
Yeah. I saw a Port supporter in a footy group post start the car. And then the background, it was like an AI generated image. It's Josh Carr at the front, and the background like Zach Butters and Connor Rosie and Ken Hinkley are like crying in the background. It's AI generated, hilarious. But as I've said before, just get rid of him as well.
Oh yeah, that's the same shit on
Like,
repeat.
he just needs to remove himself from Port Adelaide and go to the next place that needs a senior coach.
Yeah, no, it's absolutely going to be the same shit on repeat, and they're going to potentially have to come down and go back up, especially
think-
because there's people that are unsigned there, genuine superstars that are currently unsigned and
Yeah, I think, look,
shopping around their
this
value.
is like when we go back to the Eagles one, like where everyone expected Jared Schofield to get the job,
Mm.
and he didn't, and I'm glad he didn't, because it would have been a very similar thing. As much as he wants to be his own man, and he will be his own man, you can't do it when you've been running the same processes at the same place for so long.
It's true.
It really
yeah.
only works when you move away. Look at Dean Cox.
Mm,
Sydney,
absolute
rabble. I
rabble.
bet Chatty Warner's going, why did I re-sign?
I'm all going. I'm
Woo!
fucking glad it was only 2 years.
Why did I re-sign? He would have got more money West Coast.
Oh,
Be
yeah, they're
throwing it
almost
at
on the same wins too. So yeah,
That's
you've
what I
got to-
mean.
yeah.
Like, it's like, what, City's won 3 games?
I think
Actually don't
3.
know.
You'd be lucky.
I've got
if
to
Dogs
look.
not.
I think it's 4. But they all came in the first 4 rounds.
Yeah. Sydney.
Yeah, 4, 8, 12, 6. 4, 8, 12, yes. Yeah.
Math podcast.
Yeah. But I mean, they've won the same games. Like, you look at Fremantle, they've only won 2 more games than like there's what is it? 4 teams on 16 at the moment, and Fremantle have
Yeah.
only won an extra 2 games. Port.
Look at those teams: Port Adelaide, St Kilda, Sydney, and Carlton. not a good spot to be in.
Weren't the 4 of them expected to play finals this year?
3 of them.
No, everyone was saying St Kilda.
Yeah.
No one was saying Richmond.
Yeah, but that
Richmond weren't in that list of.
off.
No, they're not.
Richmond's had 3 wins.
No.
Well, you've Sydney were the grand finalists of last year.
That's what I mean.
Carlton were expected to compete. St Kilda, yeah, no, we expected better.
So, well, everyone, if they're a Victorian team, they're meant to play finals every year. That's how it works, isn't it? And if you're Sam McClure, then Carlton's meant to win the flag. And if you don't believe him, then you're not following the sport properly.
Beat Carlton.
Verbatim.
Beat GWS.
How many times has Sam McClure been right in his journalistic career? I don't have a degree.
He's not even a broken clock, mate.
Why can't they ban him from clubs too?
Can't they ban him from...
I'd rather Kane than Sam McClure around my house. Like, not my house, but the club, do you know what I mean? It doesn't matter what you tell him, he's just going to make shit up anyway. I just signed a 5-year contract. He's out at the end of the year. The signature's right here.
I literally just bought another house with this money from my contract. Yeah, he's going to the one club that no one thinks he should go to.
They reckon Bevo's about to sign a new deal anyway. And why wouldn't you after some of the...
Well, yeah, they've had a
Bulldogs.
bloody good year.
The club has a very, very keen on him to race on.
I bet they are, because they know other clubs are going to poach.
Oh, yeah.
Not only that, it's just they held on despite the unrelenting pressure to get rid of him on the guys that he was trying to produce what he's saying he's going to produce, and then he's done it. And they just fell short this week in like a game where they were robbed,
especially at the
that was the fucking over double free kicks and just like constant. Yeah. That was fully against the Dogs in that one. They were up against it. They
were fairly inaccurate as well, though.
Yeah, but the inaccuracy or not, like they did get beat by the second team on the ground. Like,
yeah.
They really should have won that game.
A few times I said that would have been a goal if that big white stick didn't get in the way.
They had a lot of posters.
Yeah,
there would have been a goal if Darcy was
playing. Absolutely, there would have been at least a handful of goals.
You know what? Actually, I love watching that kid play. And I'm so gutted that his year's interrupted now.
Yeah,
because if we were getting to this point of the season and onwards, he'd just be getting more and more flow in his game, and it'd be like,
especially coming to the finals, you want to see him out.
Oh, you want to see him pump
and obviously, like he played most of his games before the Bont was back too.
That's
like the delivery would have just been fucking A1. Yeah, man. Yeah. I seen a thing on the Twitter today where like fantasy points for other players in the Bulldogs, like before. Like without Bont and then with Bont, and they've all elevated just because
that's what you call
brings
a captain.
Mate, absolutely, and a great player in general.
Oh, he's gonna look good in blue and gold.
Yeah, he is. Yeah, he is.
Hanging on to that.
Yeah.
I don't think keeping going at the moment.
Mitchell's probably in the little DMs.
Yeah.
What do you reckon Chatsy sending him?
Mitchell only takes players from clubs who need that player.
Yeah.
Speaking of, Hawks are starting to get a little bit exposed.
Oh yeah, they are.
And what was it everyone was saying? Guaranteed premiership with Tom Barrass and Josh Battle. Tom Barrass isn't even playing a third of his capacity at Hawks and what he did at the Eagles.
No, it feels like he's not. Yeah, and it's not all on them two in the back line, but it feels like their midfielder.
Premierships though.
Yeah, you reckon? Oh, I feel like it's the whole midfield and like half forward line that have dropped off more than anything.
I think their midfielders. I think they're similar to the Crows in some ways, where if their midfield's not their strong point. So if the midfield starts losing the contested and the centre clearance, you're really going to get hurt.
Just so much
really
pressure,
bad, especially if it's goal because you can't set up.
And if they stop paying all the high free kicks,
that's wild stats there too. Yeah,
and
them small forwards are drawing them left, right, and centre.
And Hawks, like their forward line still. I mean, it's quite short. I mean, Gunston's, obviously he's past the twilight.
But Gunston's also not that tall. He just plays tall.
Yeah, but I mean, he can have spurts, but he's not going to be that player.
No, and you can't expect him to be.
Who'd be the tallest in their forward line? Chol, maybe.
Was it the Wizard at 5'7"?
Yeah, I'd say it'd be Chol, but not by much because he's not super tall either. But
he's not a key either. Yeah,
but he should be.
He can play that way. He
he's
plays
a
fairly
gun, man.
tall.
I love him,
Rhymes
mate.
with Chol? Goal.
I love him. He's when Chol's on, he's one of the fucking coolest players to watch.
Yeah, he's good to watch, man. Yeah.
He's like Dor when Dor was on, he was the same. But I like Chol's more athletic than what Magic is. Fuck. Jacked as fuck.
Yeah, beast mode. Yeah.
I'd like going one-on-one with him.
Fuck that.
Yeah, maybe a Chol's awesome. And I wish he was like good.
Yeah, it would be good.
Forward line and midfield need a bit more tweaking.
Yeah, I think they're going to start struggling a bit because the teams have found them out as it happens. They're not the surprise underdog like they were last season. And on top of that, umpires will crack down
on the high freeze.
And then they'll really struggle because an avenue for goal that they'd use tactic now no longer there.
Mm.
And people just keep blaming James Sicily for it.
Yeah. Yeah.
We always blame the redhead. That's
yeah, but like his whole career, he just gets blamed for, and I don't know why, because he's fucking consistent as fuck.
They got a couple.
I'm not sure if it's his aggression. It just makes him an easy target. He tends to get a bit fiery.
Yeah, probably. Oh, he gave away a 50, didn't he? Yelling it.
That's right.
Yeah,
but man, I wish my fucking captain were fiery. Like,
yeah, 100%.
I mean, Josh Allen almost raised his voice in that press conference. Almost raised.
Speaking of fiery. Bad move by old Bakes on the weekend.
Oh, yeah.
The
elbow in the back of the head. Yeah. He copped a fine. He didn't get suspended.
Yeah, it just shocks me he didn't get suspended.
That would have been at least a week or two. You don't want to see it. That's not.
And you know what? I understand the, oh, fuck you got me. Right? And that's probably what it was meant to be. But it was in the wrong spot, on the wrong part of the body.
Seemed pretty aggressive.
Yeah, but save it till you're standing and then give it to him. You know,
It's not a tough act when you're behind him.
No.
And especially when you're a tough bloke. You know,
he's probably got a good friendship with Noah Bolter, so he learned a few things.
Maybe.
That was the first time Bolter wasn't able to
I
play.
hate it. You know what? You know what I really hated about it is even at Richmond, Liam Baker was never like that.
No.
Like it's so out of character for him. You know.
Probably pissed off, man.
Yeah, because they were getting fucked by the umpires.
Yeah.
It was real poor to see, and I would have given that a week. Just as you said, you don't want to see it.
No, it's what it looks like.
Stand up and punch him in the face.
Yeah.
Did we learn nothing from what's his name? What was the one who knocked out Brayshaw? What's it?
Andrew Gaff.
Yeah, at least if you're gonna do it,
do it properly.
Do it to your mate.
Yeah. Just before we move on completely, just touch back on the Hawks. They've got some fucking hard games coming up. They've got Collingwood, Western Bulldogs, and then Adelaide Crows.
Oof.
Yeah. I mean, Adelaide Crows in Tasmania, Western Bulldogs at Marvel, and Collingwood at the MCG. But they're three pretty tough games, especially if they're not getting the rub of the green in terms of high freeze, like you were just saying. Because the Western Bulldogs will just put points on. Like they will just spank them. Same with Collingwood, probably.
They'll put points on.
They will put points on. Just keep whacking them sticks, boys.
The old 7 times 1 is 6 times 1 is 6. Yeah,
that's the old Essendon.
Same with
that's the Essendon strategy. Strategy: kick more points than goals.
Yeah, but the Crows too. They're the highest scoring team in the comp, aren't they?
They are. Yeah.
We also bleed a lot of goals too, so it's a double-edged sword.
Yeah. That obviously against the Eagles, that would have
second highest percentage.
Yeah, they have now. Yeah.
And when we lose, we don't. Yeah, it's
third. Gold Coast, Collingwood, Gold Coast, then Adelaide Crows.
Collingwood's is the highest.
Yeah, 132.
See, I fucking never would have believed we sat here at the start of the season and you said by the middle, Collingwood will have the highest percentage
and be top of the ladder.
I'd tell you, but they're only just top of the ladder by.
Well, they'd be if the Gold Coast win that game against Essendon, they'll be level with Collingwood right now.
Nah, Collingwood have a draw, don't they? There should only be 2 points in front.
No, Collingwood are on 36 points. Gold Coast are on 32 points.
Well, they both had a draw.
No.
I could have sworn Collingwood had been in a draw. I must be wrong because they're on 36 points. So they've had 9 wins.
We're about to come into 5 weeks of buys.
Quick
So
math.
this is going to make it even harder to try and judge the end of it. Who came up with that crap?
Mate, it's a load of shit.
Yeah, that's something. That's one of Gill's bad ones, actually.
One of them. Fuck.
Yeah, it's pretty
Opening
bad.
round, 5 weeks of buys. We've got a break, but we've got a gap between the finals. Like, just if he wants to derail every bit of momentum in the season, well done.
That's Andrew Dillon's opening round. It's dumb as fuck.
Yeah, it is.
Get
it
rid
really
of it.
is.
I like the week break before finals. As long as there's not a break between the prelims and the granny.
Yeah.
No, you want to keep the momentum.
Because they always
take a break and do 5 weeks of finals.
Yeah, they always want to break, and it's either between the prelims and the granny, or it's between season and the eliminations, and that's where it should be. Because then I don't want to. Once it starts again, I don't want to stop again.
No, that's it. You want to get to the end and
I really think
have a winner.
I think we're coming close to the time where something else happens besides the top 8 and the grand final. Because in those last 2-3 weeks of footy, there's just not enough games on.
Yeah. What might happen?
I don't know. They talk about like the competition for the like draft order for the top 10 picks or whatever. But I don't like you being able to win to get a higher pick.
No.
But I do like the idea of those teams.
What would you do? Play the bottom teams against each other in contest for the top picks?
Yeah.
Okay.
So there's been a lot of discussion about that, and I think something on that vein is pretty good. But maybe it is to play for an extra first rounder, like pick 11.
Oh yeah.
So the first round of draft picks is 19 instead of 18. Or 20 when Tassie comes in, and they add an extra pick, and then the bottom 10 play for that pick.
That could be pretty cool.
I don't think clubs will want to play nothing.
Well, they're already out of they've lost already. They're not playing finals.
They would still be playing games.
Yeah, but you're always going to have dead rubber. Like, that's what it is.
No,
but he's talking about. Would you not rather have games than no games though?
Yeah.
Depends on the quality.
They're
pretty good quality. You're gonna
teams, so they're big good quality. Look.
And you're going to go for it if there's something.
As long as Port Adelaide or St Kilda aren't playing in them, then they're generally...
Well, they're going to be, because they're not going to be in the top 8.
Yeah, but if they were smart, they'd play them against each other and then let everyone else play.
Yeah.
But because you can't tell me that like a West Coast v North or Richmond v North or Richmond v West Coast, where all three of them have super elite young talent and hunger right now. You can't tell me those games wouldn't be good to watch.
No, they would.
Especially
absolutely.
Especially with something on the line, like you're playing for something. You know, like it's instead of like trying to raffle off the highest picks, just add one in, or do it with the bottom 10 teams, or bring in the wild card for 9 and 10. I like the idea of wild card final spot for 9th and 10.
No, mate, the top 8 teams are barely competitive. Like anything up is irrelevant. Like 7 and 8, what do they do?
Where did Hawthorn finish on a ladder last year?
Don't know.
After 6th spot, and they were the best team coming into finals.
Yeah, and they went out. Well, they went out straight thirds? No, semi.
They won one. They won one.
Yeah. I can't see last year's ladder.
It was 7th. My point is that it's not always.
Yes, I can. They finished 3rd.
That's after finals.
No. Oh.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Anyway, my point is they finished 7th.
Round 24. They did finish 7th. Nice job.
Thanks. My point is
positive reinforcement.
They
now I've got to reset these filters before I baffle myself.
If they finished 3rd, that means they made a prelim.
Hawthorn. Did they make a prelim?
Must have done if they finished 3rd.
Yeah, 3rd on the finals ladder. Yeah.
Jeez.
Which means they
skinny year last year.
Yeah. Well, it wasn't. It's saying that the
from 7th.
Yeah. It'll be the same. It'll be the same this year. The top 8 this year are going to be. The top 10 are pretty close, right?
Yeah, they are. But 7, 8, 9, 10 are all on 24 points.
Yeah, like so.
There's a big gap between the skill of the top 2 versus the rest. I think
there's always a big gap between the skill of the top 2 and the rest, but
it's arguably a big gap between the skill of the top 4 and the no. You're talking shit. Because the top 5 at the moment are Collingwood, Brisbane, Gold Coast, Adelaide, and Geelong, and you can't say that there is a lack of skill in any of those sides.
Who's in 6th spot?
Hawthorn.
7th.
Western Bulldogs. Skilled. GWS Giants in 8th.
The scariest team in that entire list is in 7th spot.
Yeah.
Who?
The
Western
Dogs.
Bulldogs.
Oh, they're scary, but
they can literally beat every single team every day of the week with ease right now.
Yeah.
Like they got robbed on the weekend. So again, like you think that it's close. Why wouldn't you put 9 and 10 in for a wild card spot in the final?
Well, it'd be fun.
But we're going to have 20 teams. The 8 is no longer relevant. The 8 8 teams was relevant when there was 16.
16 in the comp. Yeah.
Well, that was when it was not. 16's enough. Like,
Yeah, but we're coming
We're in a world where you
9
can't just go, do you know what? 16's enough, so see you later. Yeah, true. Maybe you can.
AFL's
North.
there's like, how do we get more and more into deficit? Oh, we'll put another team in somewhere that no one gives a fuck about. Like, let's go to rugby.
Well, no,
territory.
Tassie's quite a significant football state. They do give a fuck.
No,
about
that makes sense. It was the Gold Coast,
and we'll move into that in a second.
Yeah, let's move into that pretty soon.
Real quick, my point is, we're going to be a 20-team comp soon, right? The top 8 doesn't really fit, all right? But you could roll that structure and do the wild card in 9 and 10, and then
and then have 9 teams in finals. Is that what you're saying?
No, they play 7 and 8 as wild card games in that week break between home and away and finals, and that makes up your top 8 final.
Oh, yeah.
We could do like a Big Brother thing with one.
So basically, you're just taking that little section of middle bracket
and letting them fight it out for the bottom 2 spots.
Bottom 2 spots in the top 8.
Yeah, okay.
And that way, you bring more teams into a finals period.
Yeah.
And then you let the bottom 10 fight it out for a higher draft pick they put in. But that pick has to be before or after all their ordinary picks, but before the rest of the teams who played finals.
And you can't have any Nepo babies in them.
It's competition balancing, I'm telling you.
Yeah, I like that. I'm all about that.
Yeah.
Write that shit down, because in a couple of years,
the talent pool isn't diluted. It doesn't have enough grassroots funding to suit the size of the competition now. You just sat there talking about they're good at these like AFL ready players in the mid-season draft, and everyone skips over them. Like,
yeah, I'm not saying they've got that many. I'm just saying they never pick them mature. They just go, he's too old. I'm like, 25.
Yeah,
it's not old.
But it's not that there's a lack of talent. It's a lack of development for that talent, which is why Gold Coast are churning out fucking constant. They're going to have another draft this year where they take in a handful and they're all the best because they've been pumping themselves into their development.
Nepotism.
Yeah. So Tasmania, right? Let's get into that.
So
it's quite a significant one to talk about.
It could be a big problem. When's the vote? Because if they don't get stadium over the line, they are fucking cactus.
Why? They've got fucking 2 in Tasmania.
But the AFL already said no new stadium, no team.
Yeah, I know.
So that's part of the deal. That is what it is.
But at the end of the day, if they don't get a stadium, they've still got 2 teams, 2 places there. What are they going to do with those? What's the point of them?
Well, Hawthorn and
no, they're not. They don't get to have their Tasmania partnerships anymore.
No way.
Yeah, that's why Hawks signed on right up until the team comes in.
I thought they were talking this year about like pushing for that to carry on.
No,
I didn't realise that.
Well, you can't really do it.
Why? Because Tasmania's got a team.
Yeah, true.
That'd be like fucking the Crows wanting to have a partnership with Western Australia. Like, oh yeah, but we really like those guys.
Optus Stadium's a nice place.
We share a border.
Yeah. Oh shit.
The Tasmania will be able to sell games.
Oh, well, what are the caps of those places that they've got at the moment, capacity in terms of team visitors?
30, I think Blundstone's like 28 and the other one's 32.
Which is pretty decent for a team that's going to be...
They don't even fill them up with the 2 teams that play there as it is.
No.
So they're what it should have been, what the AFL should be.
It's all about money.
Yeah, but this is Andrew Dillon being a ding dong, right?
Why would you call him a ding dong?
Because when he turns his head one way it dings, and when he moves the other way it dongs. All right, I don't know.
I fucking love that.
My point is,
I've now got 2 episodes where you've done that.
Well,
I'm going to build a collection. Yeah. Finisms.
Oh fucking hell! No, my point, like, if you want to make money, well, how about you make money by not spending so much in the first place, right? And the state of Tasmania has a fair argument. They're like, why are you going to make us spend fucking all these hundreds of millions of dollars on this fucking stadium when seats aren't going to get filled? They're a new team. No one's going to want to watch them play. We probably don't have the money for it yet, but we already have these 2 stadiums. So why can't it be a progression plan?
Wasn't it the same pitch as Gold Coast?
Yeah. Why can't it be 10 years full time here, start development, and then do 5 and 5 or whatever till membership numbers equal this, and then we start like,
or at least revenue raised equals a certain amount of money.
It's a business deal, and thus should be treated as such. And like, when you have resources there already available,
got to be around government funding. That's got to be the reason for the rush.
They don't have the fucking money, Lord.
Probably.
It's a lot of money to spend on a stadium for a fucking place with a population of what? 800,000?
Yeah.
Not even that?
But it wasn't...
I'm looking it up, the population.
Yeah, do it. Wasn't there a thing where obviously the Tasmania government have to input a certain amount of dollars, but then the federal government were coming to the party to add dollars too, weren't they?
Yeah, but you look at the contribution that went to WA for Optus from the Fed.
Was there a lot?
No.
Oh, okay.
West Coast and Fremantle contributed the same, I believe.
Yeah, okay.
It's hard for the AFL.
That tells you a lot when the local footy teams are spending the same as what the federal government is.
Yeah.
As of March 2022, so 3 years ago, Tasmania's population was 507,000.
Yeah, okay.
So the average stadium cost would be, I don't know.
Population of Tasmania is 5 times the membership of the West Coast Eagles.
Yes.
That's crazy.
It's a family tree of 2 roots.
Right.
So is the population going to increase with the diversity of the pool? I don't know. But it's an island. You can only get so big, population-wise.
Well, yeah, absolutely. You say that, but I come from England, and that is a very small island with a very massive population.
Yes, that's why you colonized everybody else and ruined everybody else.
I had nothing to do with that. I just
came
in for the lifestyle, fam.
Thanks to AI, I've got a financial figure to utilize here.
Go on.
Math podcast.
Including infrastructure, public transport, and X amount of years worth of maintenance. Right. Optus Stadium was $2.25 billion. That's inclusive of the expense for maintenance over the next X amount. It was $450 million allocated for maintenance over X amount. Right. So that includes public transport, new train lines, everything like that. And if you don't have that infrastructure in Tasmania, you're going to need it, right?
Oh yeah, absolutely.
So let's just assume that in the location they're putting it, there probably is none of that, right?
Mm.
You tell me that if any way that state can find that sort of money, right, without the AFL contributing $1 billion.
Yeah, they'd have to. Yeah.
And I'll never see that happen.
Me talking about profits. The AFL only made, was it $47 million net profit last year off of everything?
How much? 47 million.
Yeah, that was the net profit. I googled it before I came here because
I feel like that's after like the layers of management have turned blind eyes to fucking dodgy spending.
Well, it's after they've lost money on Gold Coast, GWS, the AFL, like all these things.
The amount of advertising revenue and money that gets made through that,
and just the TV rights alone of like what is it, $1 billion over how many years? Like they can't, like even when they COVID, they almost filed for bankruptcy after what, not even half a season. So it's a house of cards.
Yeah, it doesn't make sense. 47 million
net profit. So obviously they made a lot more than that, but after all the outgoing costs and
yeah. That's still crazy.
What? Just actually, that was one thing we're talking political. Like, at what point do you not become a non-for-profit when you make that much?
You know
money?
how
that's true.
You know how I said
save that for the other part.
They could make a profit if they could run it properly.
Yeah.
I said West Coast and Fremantle contributed more money to the stadium out of their own pockets than the federal government.
Yep.
It's true they did because the federal government contributed nothing.
Wow.
What? So it was WA state government, West Coast Eagles, and Fremantle Dockers,
and AFL's whatever the AFL's contribution would have been, which I dare say would have been significant because it's a money maker for them. WA
100%.
Footy's a money maker for them. So,
and it was kind of necessary.
Yeah, but federal government did not fund.
Wow.
Any of it.
Must have been Liberal. Labor loves spending money.
I feel like it was, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was Labor.
Was it?
Mark McGowan did it.
Are you sure?
He was in 2017, wasn't he?
Yeah, it's all the mining money going into that, baby.
Yeah.
We keep the rest of Australia in business. We might as well have a nice stadium.
In 2017, the then Premier of Western Australia, Mark McGowan, requested federal funding for the stadium.
Bloody ledge.
But Prime Minister Malcolm Turnbull declined the request.
Freak.
So the state government, the AFL, and the 2 football clubs funded it, right? So if Tasmania is getting federal funding as well, I'm changing my tune. You fucking build that stadium.
Yeah.
If the federal government's going to contribute, then you have no leg to stand on. If WA pays for their own one, you can fucking use, and the federal government wants to pay for yours, and you don't make it, enjoy no team.
We're in the state and surplus at the moment, though, aren't we? That's not why we can start.
Been in surplus since like around then, 2018.
What does that do though? If it does all fall apart and there is no stadium and the deal doesn't go ahead?
Well, I'll tell you what.
What does that do?
I know where the next team comes from then.
Yeah.
Because you know what they're going to get.
You've still got a club though that just don't have a AFL team. Does this all have to dissolve?
Of course it will.
Yeah.
Doesn't exist.
Mm.
They can keep the club for the Tasmanian League, but at the end of the day, it doesn't. If it's not, the AFL said you don't get a team without a stadium, then they go.
Have as much
they go knocking on Bunbury's door, and they go, "Yeah, we'll build a stadium, mate."
Yeah. All right, we've just covered a lot.
Yep.
I feel like we should do some tips.
Yeah. Okay.
Tips out for the boys.
Oh my God.
It's gonna do it every week.
Tips out for the boys.
For the boys.
Tips out.
Oh, God. You sing that as you in the Bears Perth.
Tips out.
Did you get that shirt from Next? That's one of their best sellers.
You dickhead. You motherfucker.
I thought I saw you there.
Finishing.
That's funny.
I'm just saying, arseless chaps. They need to come back in fashion because they're underappreciated.
They are underappreciated, Chad.
Is this week the start of the buys? Because it says 0 out of 7 tips entered.
Yeah, first week of 5.
God, fucking damn it.
Yeah, 7 games. Damn.
Oh,
we might get better tips if the odds are going up in our favour.
Yeah, true, yeah. Get 5 out of 7 instead of fucking 6 out of 9. I got 6 last week.
Sunday's game is late. That's sick.
How's what, 4 or 5?
5:20. Yeah, that's pretty
Over
good.
here?
Well, I think that's Eastern States.
Oh yeah, it is. No, that's Western. AWST, 5:20 p.m. up to stadium.
Mine doesn't say that. I'm using the web page, so that's cool.
Another reason you should use the tipping app.
I'll be able to watch that. Oh, because public holiday on Monday. That's
why. WA
yeah.
Day.
Yeah. Oh,
it is too. Nice 3-day weekend.
not for me. What do you feel about the WA Day West Coast Eagles jumper? Did you see it?
Yeah, it's cool.
Yeah, you like it?
It's just the state colours.
Yeah.
It's mint.
Did you see the marketing campaign?
Yeah, it was very
Jake Waterman and Liam Baker.
Very amusing.
Yeah. Black and yellow? I thought that was quite funny. Anyway, Thursday night.
Busy by 48.
48.
That's just what my thing scrolled to.
Yeah, I got 31.
Against Essendon.
Yeah.
At the Gabatoir. Against the Pressendon.
Depressing. Yeah.
Essendon don't kick goals.
Essendon don't. Depressing.
Beyond help.
Oh yeah, I'd stopped on 31. Do you think I should pump it a little higher and see how we go?
48 and it looks like a round number.
I just flicked mine up again and now I'm on 48.
Oh, there you go.
I'm not landing there
though.
Though.
Flex their muscles properly. Well,
No.
I reckon if they're going to do it, it'll be against the Bombers. I'm going 50. I reckon it's a bit slacking.
I'm going lower. I'm going 41.
And I can't wait to see Brad Scott's press conference afterwards.
Yeah, you love
Brisbane, Nepo babies. Are there.
yeah.
Well, he's not wrong. That's some draft picks.
All right. Collingwood.
Tough one for Hawthorn. Yeah, I'm going Collingwood.
Yep.
Yeah,
and the Gold Coast.
Garfield.
And then the Giants.
Oh, mate. I've fucking gone against Freo 2 weeks in a row and they've fucking won 2 weeks in a row.
Please go against them now. Actually, go for them.
No, Gold Coast.
Go for them. Go for them.
Go for them.
Make the tips.
Yeah. Mix it up. Go for them.
Be diverse.
I'm going to do it and I'm going to be really fucking mad when they lose.
Go for them.
It is. Oh, it's over there though, people first.
Go for them. Go for Freo.
No, I'm not. I can't do it. Gold
Chad,
Coast.
go for Freo.
No, mate, you want them to win twice in a row? I don't think so. Gold Coast Suns.
Just wanted to call one of you as a Fremantle supporter. And
No one's taking that, mate.
It's one of the best drafting teams versus one of the worst drafting teams in history.
All right, Crom, obviously.
What about Giants Richmond?
I already said Giants. You guys were too busy thinking about your favourite team, Fremantle.
Just slow it down. I got to think. Yeah, Giants. Comfortably.
I've got to think. Oh, wait.
More
Right.
Nepo babies.
Yeah.
If there's another upset from Richmond, it's going to be in that game. Well, but it won't.
Not.
I got Crom against that against the Swans
So
too.
do I.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think it'll be close, but yeah, Crows.
I don't think it'll be that
the
close.
You don't like playing against it?
Yeah, the D's.
St Kilda to come back. The Sharminator. Drop 6.
The Shark.
You going St Kilda?
Mate, see if I get this out. He's a sophisticated full forward sent back in time to change the future for one lucky lion.
Very good.
How many times did you stand in front of the mirror and saying that?
Oh,
Right,
very
and
good.
last is going to be the Cats.
Yeah, absolutely. It's going to be the Cats.
Yeah. Oh, it's over. Yeah.
Oh, yeah, Geelong.
Yeah, Geelong by it comfortably.
Comfortable. All right, so our only...
And Port Adelaide can't lose this week.
They'll probably still lose to the bye.
So the only difference that we've actually got here is Chad's gone St Kilda over the D's. Other than that, we're all the same.
Pretty easy round, to be honest.
Yeah.
That's up in Alice Springs too. Melbourne. They usually play right up in Alice.
Yeah, they do. They dominate TIO.
But Melbourne haven't had a lot of draft picks. Line will level-headed and ready to go.
Equal. All right. Very good. There's a few things left on the list.
Alex Pearce's bump. I want to talk about that.
No, we don't have time. We've done the tips.
No, we can just do shorts.
Episode's
That's
over.
okay.
What?
We can cut out shorts for the rest. People don't watch the full hour. And how long have we been going for a minute? Hour and 20?
About that. Hour and 5 maybe.
What are you going to take Noel Bolter home?
Nah.
No.
I've just got to sit and chop the thing up.
Our,
later.
our episode is less than an hour.
No, it can't be.
Well, that's been recording for an hour and 5 minutes, and it would have been about 7 or 8 before we actually started.
No way.
Yep.
No
I started
way.
them ages before I
Well,
sat
then
down.
time is lie. Oh, there you go.
Yep.
Right. Time is lying to us. All right.
Well, that's what it says.
I agree. I believe you.
Better believe me.
All right. What next then? You got one more topic.
Alex Pearce, do you reckon?
Any
Of
chance
course.
To talk about
do you think it's 3 weeks is fair or not fair?
Oh, mate, 3 weeks is not fair. I think there should definitely be a suspension. I know there's disagreements in the room, but I think he should definitely be suspended because he fully fucking braced for contact and
Yeah, but
shoulder
like I
impact
told you,
head.
I hadn't seen it. Did he do it in midair or on the ground?
He jumped to go for the ball, so he left the ground, and then the player came up with him.
What's
and
he meant to
braced
do? Like turn into a bit of spaghetti and like weave his way around the opposition, or bend and stretch out.
I
Like
guess it's the same as the Braden Maynard thing.
what
isn't
are
it?
they, like a Warner Brothers
This is
cartoon
front-on
where he
contact. This isn't coming from behind.
yeah, this isn't a dog shot when you least expect it. Well, it's like what's he meant to do?
Braden Maynard didn't come from behind, did he? He went straight into the front of
just
Angus
saying
Brayshaw.
I thought it was from behind.
I'm just saying he's fake tough. Hanging out in Noel Bolter too.
Yeah.
Boom. I think a suspension is. What was the outcome? Was he injured?
I think he went off with concussion.
yeah,
Then
knocked out,
you get a
yeah.
week because of that.
Yeah.
But if you're mid-air, what are you meant to do?
Well, I don't know.
They took away the rule that was protect yourself that Toby Green invented, which was put your foot out.
Yeah.
Well, we can't do that anymore, so we'll just collide at full force in an area where you will get. If,
there's an obvious height
if the
difference
Toby
between the two,
Green
but-
There is.
foot
Yeah.
rule still existed, you could just push off their chest.
Yeah, true.
No more concussions. Bring it back. Bring back the karate kick.
I said it best in the chat. I think it's like if the umpires don't believe in mathematics, Michael Christensen's not going to believe in gravity. This is a mass time force. This is an Einstein problem.
It is. You're right. It is an Einstein level problem. I just don't know, man. Poor kid got fucking KO'd in a big way. Yeah. It's why you'll never play.
I'm tall enough.
You are.
Yeah.
You are.
Yeah, but would you appreciate Alex Pearce flying into you and saying support Hamas?
Yeah. Oh my god. No, absolutely not.
Yeah, they swept that under the rug with his.
Oh,
Well, he
mate, of
liked
course.
something. He didn't comment on it, but
Didn't he?
Didn't he say it at the airport? on
They're like-
camera?
Yeah,
no, I
he
thought
don't.
he liked some Irish guy or something.
No, I'm pretty certain he said it
said
in an
something
interview
about
at an airport
supporting
about
Palestine,
supporting
yeah.
Palestine.
Well, because he has a man bun now.
And I'm pretty sure the exact words that came out of his mouth were Harry Sheezel is scum, support Hamas, terrorists' lives rule.
Wow.
How
Yep.
did that get misreported?
Well, he's very support player. What do you expect? You know?
Fucking
Yeah, I'm here to make fake news.
Yeah, I hope
Right,
nobody
Tom
clips
McClure.
that.
Sam McClure,
Yeah,
right?
Sam McClure.
Tom
Get
McClure.
my hero's name right.
All right. Is that it then? Or you still want to
They're
keep
not going to
talking?
pick him, Mitch.
Regards to the Tasmanian Stadium, look, if the federal government, if they can fund Ukraine, you can jump to a couple of $1 million for a Tasmanian Stadium, surely.
Good
At
lord.
least something that has something remotely to do with this.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Hey.
And Perth Bears sponsor us. We're still open. Dan really enjoyed his time on Friday night.
Bears
with
Perth,
Leadenhall.
get it
Bears
right.
Perth, sorry, I always get that.
Yeah, we
mistake.
don't need any NRL sponsors.
We don't need a terrible NRL club over a superior gay club. So
Good.
we support Bears Perth's house.
And no better time to get one. It's cold, big, hairy. Why not?
Oh my god.
Finish him.
Yeah. I'm just saying those skinny women don't provide much warmth during the cold months.
All right, Arthur, on that note, we are definitely done. Well done. Good job.
Done after you finished him, that's for sure.
Oh, good one. All right. Afraid of the Mark, thanks for coming. Watch our videos on YouTube.
Yeah, he thanked
Subscribe
you
to
for
the
coming.
channel.
We're diverse.
Oh my god. Trying to do shameless promo.
Have fun editing.
Peace.